are we doing today, Jared?
We're going to build $1 billion company. For those of you who don't know, yes, I'm a founder of an extremely busy startup, but it's all compounded because I am a single dad with these two babies. We got Nina and Adam, 5 and 8. So guys, follow along with me. This is a day in the life of building $1 billion company. All right, babies, let's go. Nice backpack, baby.
My dad told me that if I don't like a rule, then I can break it.
That's right. So before we dive into building $1 billion company, let's talk about how we got here first. So Luminous is the operating system for modern brands or modern commerce. My vision for Luminous is, think about Shopify, what they've done for the front end of commerce. Luminous is doing the same for the back end of commerce. Back end operations for modern commerce brands, it's the unsexy, boring stuff that nobody wants to focus on. Everybody talks about marketing and brand building. And frankly, back-end ops just never gets a place to shine. And I feel like even with the little traction that we have right now, I honestly feel like we're doing it. Like we're getting people to actually associate fun or playful or sexy with back-end ops. We honestly work with so many incredible brands, and we're trying to take some of that energy and inject it into Luminous. Why did I start Luminous? So I dropped out of college when I was about 25. I started my own e-commerce store. So I started Etsy shop, Amazon store. I would build baby gates and barn door hardware and handles, just like rustic decor. Scale that to 6 figures. Then the second part of my career, I had a whole career in supply chain. So I used to be Mormon, and I served a Mormon mission trip when I was 19 years old in Hong Kong. So I actually speak fluent Cantonese and Mandarin. So that eventually led me to real supply chain management operations. So yeah, the second part of my career, I helped so many e-commerce companies source and develop and negotiate contracts with manufacturers overseas. Now, the last part of my career before Luminous was e-commerce operations. So I'd already operated my own small brand, my own 6-figure brand. I actually became CEO of a $20 million a year brand when I was 28 years old. The combination of all those experiences, it really exposed me to every part of e-commerce operations. And I saw a massive gap. When I was CEO of this $20 million a year e-com company, we were right in the middle of a system change. So we had hit critical mass. We were an omni-channel brand. We did fulfillment in-house. It was a madhouse. And we had reached a certain point where it's like, okay, we can't grow any further unless we implement an operating system. That's when I was exposed to the lack of back-end tech for modern commerce. Modern commerce has so many use cases and edge cases, and it's constantly evolving. Even now in 2025, it's so different than when I was CEO in 2019. Modern commerce evolves fast, and you need a flexible system purpose-built for the trends of modern commerce, and no system was hitting the mark. So it's safe to say that everything that I went through really qualified me to build Luminous. And I started in 2020 on a kitchen table in the middle of the pandemic. And here 5 years later, we've scaled it to a point where we have 15 team members full-time in the United States. We have a whole team overseas. Currently, we're at about $1.6 million in ARR. Our goal this year is to go from 1.5 to 4 million, thus 3xing 2 times in a row. Excited to have you guys follow along and see what you think. Hopefully you guys can learn something. Follow me into our newest office. We just barely moved in. It's a little bit rough around the edges. A lot of boxes right here. Ta-da! So when I first started Luminous in 2019, 2020, we only had one customer, and that was the company that I ran. That's how it goes at the beginning. Those are really good starting grounds to build the first iteration of the product. And we went out and we took the beta product with about 5 or so customers, so some decent amount of traction in a short amount of time. So at the end of 2019 and 2020, that's when we went out and fundraised. So we ended up raising a $2.1 million seed round from people like Serena Ventures, Startup Ignition Ventures, Pelion. From 2020 to 2023, like end of 2023, just like any other SaaS company, like the pre-seed stages, it's just a very iterative stage. We mainly just focus on the product. We made a lot of mistakes with hiring and team building. I think every SaaS company goes through some sort of premature scaling issues. But those beta years were really just the formative years. We were just figuring out the product. We were solidifying our purpose and finding our voice as a brand. So like I said, 2020 through 2023, like 10 customers, we were just iterating and building for them. And in 2023, that's when I started the beginnings of a go-to-market, like an actual sales process. So building a back-end system requires a lot of investment, a lot of time, a lot of development. We have some amazing investors. We've raised about $6 million total so far. Couldn't be more happy. So it took us 4 years to get here, but we finally figured out who our actual ICP was. We build for the modern omni-channel brands, and it's a very specific makeup. I won't bore you with the details, but basically they're omnipresent. They're above $5 million in revenue. They're on Amazon, Shopify. They also sell through big box retailers. They probably do specialty wholesale. So let's talk about the financials. When I first started, I self-funded Luminous until I fundraised. Then I resigned as CEO, went all in as CEO of Luminous. We really hovered between like 5 and 10 beta customers from 2019 all the way through 2023. So we started 2023 end of year with about 350K of ARR. We went from 350K in ARR with about 10 customers all the way to 100 customers and 1.6 million in ARR. Big jump. Everything is breaking all the time, but I'm loving it. This is what I signed up for. We're in this. For those of you who don't know, Luminous is in Utah, and it's a blizzard out here. This is normal February shit here. So about a year ago, we were about 5 full-time people. We've already scaled to 15. Let's meet some of the important people at Luminous. First, let's introduce Heidi. So Heidi is our customer support.
Yes.
So she's front of line support. Anybody who has issues on Luminous, they go to Heidi. Heidi, how long have you been at Luminous, and what do you enjoy about working here?
I've been here about 4.5 months. I started like end of September, and I just like the fast pace of it. It's been a new industry for me. It's a lot of learning coming from a microbiology background. It's much different.
This is Brian right here. Brian is our customer support manager.
Yeah, so I've been here since October. Before that, I've been in the tech space and CS for the last couple of years, since about 2020. Different tech companies here in Utah. And yeah, super excited to be a part of a small company again. I think that's such a huge piece of our momentum is everybody on the team just has the vision of where we're going and what we want to accomplish. That's really exciting.
This is our favorite person in the world, Calvin. So Calvin is our first US front-end developer.
Yeah.
And let me say, wow, the impact he made. The running joke before he got here was the new UI, it'll come out next year. It'll come out next year. It'll come out next year. Calvin got on. And then Brendan, our CTO, co-founder, Brendan was I wouldn't expect too much. It's really difficult to make these changes. He might make some impact in 6 months. Literally within 2 months, the whole software looks totally different.
Brandon was the reason that I joined. I've worked with Brandon before, and he's excellent and so great to work for and work with. And everybody here is exactly the same. It's great to be working on a team that really wants to make lives better.
That's awesome. This is Billy Bush right here. He's our head of product. He's amazing. We'll talk to him later. This is Logan, our head of sales. Also amazing. We'll talk to him a little bit later. Wow, all 3 department heads. One, boom, boom, bang. This is Josh. Josh is our head of implementation. And then this is Jordan. We have Jordan right here. He's a closer. That rounds out the team for now. Let's FaceTime Brendan and meet him real fast. Brendan couldn't be bothered to come in today because he wears flip-flops and shorts every day, even in a blizzard. So this is Brendan, co-founder, CTO of Luminous. He's the guy that makes everything, all the magic happen on the back end. Say hi.
Hey guys.
Do you have flip-flops on right now?
I don't have shoes on right now.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, well, we're gonna talk to you later. See ya.
Alright, see you guys.
But that's everybody who's coming to the office. Let's get to work. All right, so obviously the goal is for Luminous to become a $1 billion company. So what do you guys think? Are we gonna become a $1 billion company? The honest answer there is I don't know every step that's gonna lead us to $1 billion. But if we just sort of work backwards of existing $1 billion companies in the marketplace, then there's a couple things that we already know outright. So first off, our growth metrics need to maintain around 10% month-over-month growth. We need to get to about between 50 and 100 million in ARR. And really what that means is Luminous is currently at 1.6 mil. And so how do we get to 100 mil in ARR? Effectively 100xing what we're already doing. This year immediately what we have to accomplish is we have to go from being a team of ICs, So in other words, Jared sells. Before it was me marketing, selling, implementing. Then the next stage that we honestly already accomplished last year is, okay, Jared isn't doing everything. Jared sells, but Josh implements, and we have somebody else doing the dirty work in product. Brendan is the CTO. This year, this stage that we're going through is transitioning from a bunch of ICs and excellent ICs to actual systems. So really the theme of this year is, for example, sales and marketing. Having a repeatable process that isn't just one person. Figuring out customer acquisition cost, figuring out our payback period, LTV, and making sure it's actually profitable. With product, we need to figure out our net revenue retention. So churn needs to be sub 5% annually, and our net revenue retention needs to actually make sense going into a Series A round. So these are some things that we're focused on this year. These are the themes of this year, and we want to go from 1.6 million to 4 million in ARR. If we just keep biting this off piece by piece every single year, then one day we hopefully will find ourselves at 100 million ARR at $1 billion. So somebody who I follow and listen to his advice constantly is Jason Lemkin. He's at multiple SaaS exits. He's such an amazing mind in the SaaS space. Something he says all the time is going from 0 to 1 million is practically impossible. 94% of companies don't even make it there. We did it. We did the impossible. We made it. Going from 1 to 10, improbable. Also very difficult. And you know, this is what I'm talking about. 0 to 1 million, excellent founders and excellent ICs can do this. Going from 1 to 10, only systems can actually do this. This is where we're really testing on, can we build something that's repeatable and profitable, like makes business sense? Then, going from 10 to 100, it's inevitable. If you solve this problem, you nail down churn because you have a great product. You transition from great individual contributors to systems that are profitable teams and departments, then yes, getting to 100 million, as long as your TAM exists, as long as you have somebody to sell to that can get to this, it's inevitable. So that's what we're banking on. And we are right in the middle. We've already gone 0 to 1. We're trying to go from 1 to 10, and we're doing all the difficult stuff. Everything's breaking right now as it should, and we're figuring it out. That wraps up my day as a CEO who's trying to build $1 billion company. I'm gonna go home, hang out with my kids, and let's be honest, probably do a little bit of work. But if you guys like this content and you want to hear more about how I brought Luminous to market, click right here and you can watch that story. Thanks guys, see you next time.